Warlord, Saga of the Storm, Into the Accordlands, Story number 8, Alrayn Gaunt, by Westley A. Youngren. The offering lay tightly bound on the altar as the blade carved complicated and precise patterns into its canvas. Once the glyphs were carved, the sacred prayer was recited. Then, with a fell plunge of the ceremonial dagger, the opening ritual was completed, and the coven of the blood moon could feast. A hideous sight befell the Temple of Ruin, as monsters of all types descended upon the fresh offering, ripping and devouring its flesh while still warm. The sounds were enough to drive one mad. Chattering, gulping, swallowing, moaning, rough tongues on smooth flesh, the monsters lavished in such a feast. Once the ritual was complete and the feast finished, the coven could move forward with their gathering. They were almost at full strength, with 11 of the 13 high priests in attendance. Although each priest led their individual cults, a mysterious figure adorned in strange robes and a pallid porcelain mask led the Coven of the Blood Moon, as they were the only one that could perceive the whispers of Bascaron. This figure was only referred to as that which speaks. Under the authority of Bascaron itself, that which speaks demanded silence. Children, tonight we plan the next step in the ritual of the veil. Each of the priests froze in apprehension and respect. Trask has birthed the first arm of our rite, laying waste to the city of Lucian and thus drawing the gaze of Bascaron. Now that its attention has been captured, it is time to acquire the apparatus which will allow us to breach the veil. A quiet suspense filled the dark and decrepit temple. That which speaks continued. One of you must venture into the dwarven city of Everseek and retrieve Lord Salkoski Leka and bring him to me, alive. A sinister aura began to radiate from the mad priest. That is, at least until he has built for us what is needed. Before that which speaks could continue, the coven broke into an uproar, each high priest volunteering themselves as the chosen one for this task. If cha want cha job done right, I'm cha one for cha's task, brashly asserted Farrelrack, the large and formidable leader of the Unakin. Farrelrack, you are too messy. We need not to slaughter an entire city just to capture Lord Leka. No, I could do it with one simple hex. One hex, and Lord Leka would be at my very beckon, like a puppet on a string, Brunhilde said with a hideous cackle. I wouldn't fret to get mine or mine kin's blades dirty. In fact, we hunger for fresh blood. Let us do it, snarled Fang, matriarch of the Knolls. Fed by the squabble, that which speaks reluctantly intervened. Quiet! There is one here that has the particular expertise fit for such an undertaking. Once again, the room quieted with suspense. Who would be chosen for such a task, for such an honor? That which speaks looked behind them and into the shadows, as if being reassured by some unseen entity hiding in the crevices of darkness and ruin. I charge thee, Alrayn Gaunt, with the task of bringing me Lord Leka. All breath went out of the room as each high priest gazed at Alrayn with detest and resentment. The other priests did not trust or like Alrayn, as he was not a monster, or at least he didn't appear to be one. He did not tower over the others with mighty pincers, nor did he bear gnarled and twisted fangs. No, Alrayn looked quite human, draped in dark robes with his only true distinguishing featuring being a grimacing smile that never seemed to leave his face. Him? He's shot even a monster. Look at him, chitting there with that smirk on his face. He's mocking us all. Farrelrack pressed his way to Alrayn. Do you think you are better than us, human? The mighty Unakin extended to his full height, towering over Alrayn. If you think you are taking this honor from me and the Unakin, you are wrong, child. Farrelrack pushed Alrayn with one of his mighty pincers. Alrayn's grin only widened. Do not smile at me, human. I will take your head and... To the naked eye, it seemed as if Farrelrack's head had simply fallen off, like a large ball placed on too small of a pedestal. But those with more sensitive perceptions were privy to an astonishing display of swordsmanship. Within a blink of the eyes, Alrayn had removed his twin kopashes from his robes, decapitated Farrelrack, and concealed his blades again before Farrelrack had even had time to blink. The attack was so quick, the blood did not even have a moment to stain Alrayn's blades. After moments of awe-inspired silence, Alrayn finally spoke. "He has to be brought in alive?" asked Alrayn. "Yes, child," answered that which speaks. "May I begin?" asked Alrayn with a widening grin. The masked figure nodded. And with that, Alrayn turned and headed out of the crumbling temple, onward to the dwarven city of Everseek. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe, as well as share this with anyone you think might be interested. Check back for our next story, story number 9, Pale Disjointed Things by Graham Moyer.